What is up, guys? It is TheCitrusPanda here today, and today I'm going to be reviewing episode 13 of Log Horizon, and as you can see, I'm rocking a sweater today. Alright, so basically this episode didn't have a lot going on. Actually, if anything, I would consider it to be a setup episode for future episodes, and most likely for next episode, because it seems like something's about to go down next episode. Now, it kind of starts off with this, slow exposition between Krusty and the princess. Actually, that's pretty much the whole episode. But that's not exactly the interesting part about it. Now, you might think, in a way, maybe there's some sort of romance thing going on between Krusty and the princess. But I don't know. Personally, I don't think there is. I don't think Krusty is trying to get a relationship there. Maybe the princess is, but I don't think he is. I don't think it's mutual there. Maybe it is, and maybe I'm just not seeing something. I don't know. And so to set this up, basically Shiro and some of the members of the round table had come up with, well, they were in a room talking, and Krusty said that he had a quote-unquote shield, and nobody knew what he was talking about, but his shield was the princess, to get in, towards the people of the land, kind of get to know them better. Yeah, I'm guessing that's why he did that, and to, spend time around the princess instead of just hanging out around her, which he did before, but then he set up, this little tournament thing that he knew he would win, because he's an adventurer, and they're people of the land. They're not going to win against him. So he knows he's going to win, but he sets up this tournament anyway, and then he beats and the prize is to take the princess to the dance, the ball, or whatever you want to call it. And that's pretty much what happens. He wins, and then he takes her to the ball, up in the hall. I don't even know if it really was a dance, because they didn't dance at all, but whatever. And then they had some more exposition. They were talking, basically just about random things, not really important to the plot, although Krusty does have a sister that he can't see somehow, so I'm guessing she is in the real world, and while he's trapped here. That's another thing right now, I think Log Horizon just, this is what they did. They were let's just throw them into a video game world, so we can have all these awesome things happen, and then let's just forget that they're even in a video game. Because, the whole time that we've been here, we really haven't gotten why they're here. That is not the point of Log Horizon, though, is the way that I look at it. The point of Log Horizon is not to show you why you're here in this weird place, rather to show you what they're doing to survive in this place. Because they're not going to spend all the time figuring out why are we here. They're going to figure out how we can make the place that we're living right now, in the present, better. So, basically that's what happened. It also showed the dungeon, a little bit of the dungeon scene with Minori and Rudy, the group of people, little kids in the dungeon. And Rudy was complaining a little bit. I thought that was kind of annoying. I said last episode that he was possibly my new second favorite character. Nyanta probably being my first, maybe Shiro being my first or second. I have a lot of characters in the show that I like, but Rudy just had this, I don't know, I liked him because he was a sorcerer, and he reminded me of other anime characters that I had liked in the past, so it kind of reminded me of them, and I don't know. I mean, he was kind of annoying in this episode, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I know where he's coming from. He's just complaining. He's just letting his complaints be known, and it's pretty nice. Now, basically after that, you just get transported to Shiro and... Well, no, back it up. Sorry, that's in a couple minutes. Now, you get on the beach scene with Marie and the blue-haired dude from the Crescent Moon Alliance, whatever his name is, training all the recruits on the beach. And Shiro's kind of talking to Marie over the weird whispering chat thing, and about whether they should help out the newbies, or not newbies, whatever you call them. Yeah, they're newbies, as you would call them in MMOs, I guess. And basically, they decided not to help them at all and just let them fare for themselves and fend for themselves and kind of figure out how they're going to survive and not interfere at all. Now, then, there's this weird blue light, and this is the point of the episode, I'm pretty sure. There's two things that happen in this episode towards the end, and they seem to be important. So on the beach, there was this blue light on the horizon of the sea, and they didn't really know what it is, and then it disappeared. So I was just kind of like dismissing it as, whoa, what's gonna happen? So nothing happened, and then it transports to Akatsuki, who's practicing dancing because she wants to dance with Shiro instead of the assistant, that Marie's assistant, Harrietta, possibly. Maybe I got it right, maybe not. But that is why she was dancing, and then Shiro came out, and they talked a little bit. And then all of a sudden, boom, this thing was going, and there were like these weird waves in the air. I don't even know, like the air like kind of like blurred almost. And I thought they were going to be attacked or something crazy was going down, but it happened to be some sort of mage from some lake. Morel Lake. Started with an M, might have ended with an L. It started with an M and ended with a letter of the alphabet. Is that good enough for you? And basically, that's what happened in this whole episode. Now, the important part was obviously the blue light across the lake at the end, and also the mage at the end. The mage at the end is obviously going to be a big focus point in the next episode, but I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think the light across the sea horizon, do you think that had to do with the mage, or do you think they're two separate events? Because I know that this is like almost like a separate narrative from each other. Like, it's all happening in one world, and in a way all the events are affecting each other, but it's kind of like what a lot of shows are doing nowadays, where they don't focus on one character and they go out and they go from a multiple character perspectives. You know, Shiro is the main character, but you don't really even see him as much anymore with all these other characters going. So, I mean, when done right, that can be really good. For instance, a good example of that is The Lord of the Rings, where it switches between narratives. But I'm getting off topic. And since it always switches between the narratives, I'm wondering if they're just connected and it was like their perspective of this guy coming towards Shiro and whatnot. I don't really know. I'm kind of at a loss to say what is exactly happening. I think my bet is that they're connected in some way. The blue light on the sea and the mage are connected in some way. Possibly, maybe the mage is warning Shiro about something bad that just happened, and that had to do with the sea, you know, shining. And overall, I rate this episode. I'm not even gonna rate the episode anymore, but I would rate it, you know, decent. I mean, it's just a setup episode, so it's kind of like one of those things where you just watch and then you wait next week for the next episode because you really want to figure out what happens. Also, I want to add this at the end. I don't know, but possibly, do you think the opening is going to change? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I think the opening might change. I personally like the opening. I didn't like it the first 2 times I listened to it, but after that, I'm a really big fan of the Log Horizon opening, honestly. And I don't know. I like the opening. I don't know if it's going to change because it is going to be a 25 episode anime, I'm guessing, or 24 or 26, whatever they do nowadays. And that's probably what's going to happen. Unless some weird thing happens in some really long series, but I don't see that happening. I think it's just going to be 25 episodes. So, I will see you guys next Saturday with another video. And you also might be thinking, whoa, this was late. I know, I'm recording this at like 7, so it's probably going to be like 8 or something by the time it's up. But at least I did.